The birth of a child is one of the happiest moments in a parent's life, but that joy quickly turned to fear for our next guest. His daughter was diagnosed with a rare brain-threatening disorder, phenylketonuria. On the heels of National PKU Awareness Day, celebrated earlier this week, I'm joined by MLB All-Star and pitcher for the San Francisco Giants, Mark Melancon. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Well, thanks for joining us. I want to get into this, but first, we hear that you have a special connection to Omaha, right?
I sure do. A very special one.
Your wife is from here?
My wife is from Omaha. My father and mother-in-law still live there, and it's a great place. It's a neat little town.
It sure is. Well, that's very cool. Well, speaking of your wife, you had a tough situation when your daughter was diagnosed with this condition. Can you tell us about PKU?
Yes. PKU is an inherited disease that raises the levels of phenylalanine, which is an amino acid. Amino acids are part of proteins, so there's 13 essential amino acids, and phenylalanine is one of those. And our daughter is not able to tolerate a high level of phenylalanine. So if she eats any proteins, beans to meats, and a lot of artificial sweeteners have it as well. So pretty much everything that you and I's diet consists of has some sort of phenylalanine in it. Even I think Coke on the Coke can says contains phenylalanine. So we have to monitor her diet and be very, very thoughtful in what we put in her body. But fortunately, it's 2017, and there's a lot of diets out there, and there's a lot of allergies, and it's not a foreign thing to have something going on in your diet. But when we found out from our physician, a week after Ella was born, he didn't do a great job of explaining it to my wife on the phone, and so it completely freaked her out. And we thought that she was going to be in a wheelchair, or paralyzed, or a short lifespan. But fortunately, there is a potential to, if you follow the diet and pay attention to what you're doing, then you're going to live a great life and a normal life. And not potentially, that's what you will do. So we have been very fortunate to have good doctors around and be educated on this. And my wife does a fantastic job. She's on top of this, and I couldn't think of a better person to handle it for my daughter. And I'm along the side with her, but I have to admit my wife is definitely in charge and knows best.
Well, you have a beautiful daughter and an adorable family. I do want to ask about this. Is it standard for newborns to be screened for PKU, or do parents actually need to request this?
Fortunately, it is standard. So all kids born in America are screened at birth, and it's just part of the process. But it's just not, I think 1 in 20,000 kids get diagnosed with this a year, so it's not common. And fortunately, you can live a normal, healthy life, and nobody would ever even know that you had it, except if they were watching what you ate. And you can, it's basically a vegetarian diet. So that's pretty common this day and age. And, I make it sound pretty easy, and it can be. So okay. Fortunately, if your kid or whoever is diagnosed lives with the diet their entire life, they're going to be completely normal.
Right. Well, for our viewers watching this morning who want to get more information, where can they go to find that?
They can go to a great website that has a lot of different information, and even for adults who were diagnosed with PKU many years ago, and back then they thought they had to be on the diet for a couple of years and then they could get off. That's not true. They need to stay on it for the rest of their life. But the website is called pku.com, and it's for all ages, and people that don't know anything to people that know a lot. It's a very helpful website.
Well,
pku.com.
pku.com. Well, thanks for your time this morning, Mark. We know that you're extremely busy, but if you're ever in town, stop by the Morning Blend.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Yep. Thank you. Mike, over to you.